Welcome to Safe Money Strategies with Susan Moore-Vault, president of Moore Financial Strategies. Susan specializes in working with those over the age of 50 and is now in her 20th year as a financial services professional in Tucson. None of Susan's clients has ever lost a dime in this market. Susan is an Air Force veteran, a former detective, a mother, and a grandmother. Susan's mantra is get educated about your options so you can make informed decisions. And now, here's your host, Susan Moore-Vault.
Protecting all you have. More financial strategies.
Good morning, Tucson. This is Susan Moore-Vault. As always, thanking you so much for spending this time with me bright and early on a Saturday morning. How was your week? I hope you have a great weekend planned. If you're new to the show, welcome. We'll spend a half an hour together talking about things financial. My mantra is get educated on your options so you can make informed decisions. I feel it's so important. You know, there are a lot of people out there that are brokers selling stocks, bonds, mutual funds, insurance people. What makes me different? Well, I'm a retirement specialist. I work exclusively with pre- and post-retirees, and my emphasis is on ensuring that your precious retirement dollars don't get lost to the market. There are so many things that we can't control, folks. I just say, let's work on the things that we can control. It'll lead to peace of mind and a whole lot less stress. Our prime directive is to always keep your money safe and always keep it growing. And how do we do that? By replacing market volatility and uncertainty with principal guarantees. Let me ask you this. In your last review with your current advisor, did he or she put in a plan for you, a solid plan that would protect you when the market crashes again? It's not a question of if it will crash, it's a question of when. If you don't think there's another chance of having another 2001 or 2008, well, think again. Are you willing to risk everything that you have on that? Please think about that. Do you have enough confidence in your current advisor to get a second opinion? Believe me, I have information that will change your life forever. And I'll tell you something, if you don't know this information, it will place you in serious financial jeopardy. That's what I'm about, is helping people find safety, safe strategies to get them to a place where they don't have to worry about losing money. There are so many changes going on now. Oh my gosh, we're up against this election coming up in November, and people are just frozen, particularly business people. They don't know what to do. Do they invest in more employees and so forth now, or are they going to get hit with the health law, Obamacare? There's a lot of concern. And I thought today I'd talk a little bit about some of the changes in tax laws that could be really, really significant. This is a bit lengthy, but I think you need to hear about it. This is really going to concern primarily the high net worth folks out there. Next year, you may be faced with potential estate tax changes, and I'm just going to go over some strategies that you might want to listen to. It's an uncertain period when it comes to estate planning because some of the key tax provisions that are currently in place are scheduled to end at the end of the year. For example, in 2012, the law allows estate, gift, and generation skipping transfer, GST, exemptions of $5.12 million. The maximum rate on taxable estates is 35%, and a surviving spouse can use his or her predeceased spouse's unused estate or gift tax exemption. But those amounts could change significantly on January 1st. Here are some of the several possible scenarios. Now, we're just talking a few months from now. So if you are in the high net worth brackets, please listen up. If Congress does nothing and the current extension ends, the estate tax exemption drops back to $1 million and the GST exemption falls to $1.39 million. Exemption portability between spouses ends and the top tax rate reverts to 55%. Ouch. If the current law is extended, that means that this year's exemptions and rates will continue to apply next year. If the administration's proposal passes, this would return exemptions and rates to their 2009 levels, among other provisions. That would result in a $3.5 million estate and GST exemptions, a $1 million gift exemption, and a top tax rate of 45%. Maybe the estate tax will be repealed completely. That's hard to imagine, given the budget deficit we currently have and political gridlock. Perhaps Congress and the administration will reach a compromise. That's kind of funny. But in that case, it's impossible to predict the outcome with any certainty. Consider some strategies that might make a difference. Strategy 1 is update your estate planning documents to account for the portability provisions. In 2010, the Tax Act provides for portability of the estate and gift tax exemptions between two spouses. This provision allows a surviving spouse to take advantage of the unused portion of the deceased spouse's exemption for the very first time in tax law history. As a result, a married couple can effectively pass on to their heirs $10.24 million free of federal estate tax in 2012. Careful drafting of documents should allow this. Strategy 2, consider a gifting strategy in 2012, this year. Once the window for planning closes on January 1st, 2013, certain planning opportunities and strategies which could potentially result in millions of dollars in tax savings are lost forever. For example, the 2012 federal gift tax exclusion amount is $5.12 million per individual, or $10.24 million per married couple, with a maximum rate of 35% for gifts above those thresholds. In 2013, the federal gift tax exclusion reverts back to $1 million per individual, with a maximum rate of 55% for gifts above this threshold. In an estate plan where gifting is a prudent strategy, there are significant advantages and tax savings to do so in 2012. There's a potential to save millions of dollars in estate tax. Strategy 3. We're going to have to do that strategy after the break, but don't go away. We'll be right back.
More financial strategies.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck for More Financial Strategies. You insure your home, your car, and life. Now insure your hard-earned money against loss. Don't fall off a financial cliff. Get protection now. 296-4464. That's 296-4464.
Let's face it, 401ks are now 201ks, and IRA stands for I'm really angry. Our clients that made 10 to 20% 2 years ago still have it. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. You already trust the insurance industry to protect your home, your car, your life, even your loved ones. Why not rely on them to protect your retirement accounts too? Call Susan now at 520-296-4464. That's 520-296-4464. If Susan is unable to answer the phone or if she's on the other line, please leave your name and number and she'll call you back promptly. That number again for Susan Moore Vault is 520-296-4464.
More financial strategies.
Okay, we're back. We're going to go to strategy 3, but in the meantime, if you would like to call and make an appointment, there is no charge for consultation. Actually, I never charge at all. So feel free to come in and get a second opinion. My number is 296-4464. That's 296-4464. I do pre-record this program, but feel free to call me on Saturday morning. I'm usually available to anybody that would like to give us a call. Okay, so back to estate planning. Strategy 3, consider doing a large Roth IRA conversion in 2012. Doing a Roth conversion in 2012 will not only pay tax at the lower rates of 2012, but it will also reduce the size of an estate struggling with estate tax limits. This is very lengthy, and I'm not going to read the entire article, but the amount of money that can be saved for your heirs by doing a Roth conversion is well over $1 million in this scenario. And it's something worth considering, folks. The Roth IRA, yes, you pay the taxes now, but do you think taxes are going to be higher or lower in the future? This is probably the best Ganga year we'll ever have for taxes. Think of it this way. Would you rather pay tax on the seed or the harvest? If you convert your existing IRA or 401k now, you can take advantage of the low tax rate and leaving money to your heirs and to yourself for the rest of your life on a tax-free basis, income tax-free. In fact, if you would really like to see how it works, go to my website at www.moorefs.com. That's M as in Mary, O-O-R-E, F as in financial, S as in strategies, moorefs.com. On the home page on the right side, there's a Roth seminar. It's lengthy. It's about 40 minutes. But believe me, if you have wealth, you ought to see this. You really ought to take a look at it. And in fact, I had somebody in the other day that said, well, I make too much money to do a Roth IRA. No. You can't start a new one if you make too much money, but anybody can convert an existing IRA or 401k to a Roth, and it can make a tremendous difference. Call me if you have questions on that, and I can give you more detail. The fourth strategy is to make gifts to generation skipping trusts. This allows the person setting up the trust and making the gifts to allocate his or her GST exemption, which is $5.12 million in 2012, but potentially could be dropping to $1.4 million in 2013, just a few months away. So take a look at this, give some thought to it. The changes that Obama's budget proposal has suggested would change everything, and it would make dynasty trusts impossible. But getting it done now, it will hopefully be grandfathered in. It's something for you to really think about, folks, because estate planning makes the difference for generations. And if you do, and you are blessed with wealth, then now is the time. Do not wait until 2013. Get what you have for your trust reviewed now. You can consider having, if you do have, several $1 million, one of the ideas that is very successful is a trust that's outside of your estate. It's an irrevocable trust. In that trust, you place a second to die life insurance policy. That life insurance policy is triggered when the second of the two people in the couple passes. And now that life insurance goes tax-free to the heirs so that they can use the tax-free money to pay off any taxes that are due on the estate, so the estate can hopefully pass tax-free. So that's an important consideration. There are many different types of things that you can do to plan and be prepared, but the very, very basic is to have a will and a living will and the durable power of attorney, medical directives. You can have a trust, but there's a way, if you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a business and you don't have 2 or 3 marriages with lots of kids from different marriages that will be at each other's throats when you die, or if you don't have property out of state, then there's a way that you can take care of this type of planning without having a trust necessarily.